The night was quiet, but something heavy hung in the air, as if the earth itself was holding its breath. In a small tent, under a sky filled with silent stars, a mother lay awake, her hands resting gently on her stomach. Inside her, two lives struggled, pushing against each other even before they saw the light of day. It was not a normal movement. It felt like a battle. Confused and troubled, she cried out to God, "Why is this happening to me?" And God answered her in a way that would shape the future of nations. Two nations are in your womb. Two peoples will be separated from you. One will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger. Those words echoed in her heart long after the pain faded. Soon, the time came. The first baby was born strong and red, his body covered with hair. They named him Esau. He was wild even in his first breath. Then came his brother. His tiny hand was gripping Esau's heel, as if he was already reaching, already holding on, already trying to take something that belonged to another. They named him Jacob. From the very beginning, their lives were tied together, but not in peace. As they grew, their differences became clear. Esau loved the open fields. He was strong, fearless, a hunter who chased after the wind and returned with food for his family. His father, Isaac, loved him deeply, proud of his strength and skill. Jacob was different. He stayed close to home, quiet and thoughtful. He listened more than he spoke. His mother, Rebekah, loved him deeply, perhaps because she remembered the words God had spoken before they were born. But love divided the home. A father for one son, a mother for the other. And in that quiet division, something dangerous began to grow. One day, Esau returned from the field. His steps were heavy, his body weak with hunger. The sun had drained him, and all he could think about was food. As he approached the tent, the smell of stew filled the air. Jacob was cooking. Esau's voice cracked as he spoke. "Please give me some of that red stew. I'm starving." Jacob looked at him, not with kindness, but with calculation. This was a moment, an opportunity. "Sell me your birthright," Jacob said calmly. The birthright, it was not just a tradition. It was a sacred inheritance. It meant leadership of the family, blessings, and a future filled with God's promises. Esau was too tired to think clearly. Hunger clouded his judgment. "I am about to die. What good is a birthright to me now?" And just like that, he gave it away. A sacred gift traded for a single meal. Jacob handed him the stew, and Esau ate. But when the bowl was empty, something far greater had been lost. Time passed, and their father Isaac grew old. His eyes became weak, and he could no longer see clearly. But he knew his time was near, and he wanted to give his blessing, the final, powerful words that would shape the future. He called for Esau. "Go out into the field," his voice trembling. "Hunt for me, prepare the food I love, and bring it to me. Then I will bless you before I die." Esau left quickly, unaware that someone had heard everything. Rebekah. Her heart began to race. She remembered God's words. She believed Jacob was meant to receive the blessing. But instead of trusting God's timing, she chose to act. "Jacob," she whispered urgently, "listen to me. Go quickly and bring me 2 young goats. I will prepare food just the way your father loves it. Then you will take it to him, and he will bless you instead of Esau." Jacob hesitated. "But Esau is hairy, and I am not. What if my father touches me? He will know I am lying. I will bring a curse on myself, not a blessing." Rebekah's voice was firm. "Let the curse fall on me. Just do what I say." And so the plan was set. She dressed Jacob in Esau's clothes, placing the skins of the goats on his hands and neck to make him feel hairy like his brother. The smell of Esau surrounded him. Then, carrying the food, Jacob stepped into his father's tent. Each step felt heavy. Each breath felt wrong. "My father," he said, Isaac turned his head slightly. "Who is it?" "I am Esau, your firstborn." The lie hung in the air. Isaac frowned. "How did you find the food so quickly?" Jacob swallowed. "The Lord your God gave me success." Even God's name used to support a lie. Isaac was unsure. "Come closer so I can touch you." Jacob stepped forward, his heart pounding like thunder. Isaac reached out and touched his hands. The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. The moment stretched, fragile and tense. Then Isaac accepted it. He ate the food, he drank the wine, and then he spoke the blessing. Words filled with power, with promise, with destiny. "May God give you heaven's dew and earth's richness. May nations serve you. Be Lord over your brothers." The blessing was given, and it could not be taken back. Jacob left the tent, his heart racing, his hands trembling. Moments later, Esau returned. He prepared the food and brought it to his father, full of hope. "My father, sit up and eat, so that you may give me your blessing." Isaac froze. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice shaking. "I am your son, Esau, your firstborn." The truth hit like a storm. Isaac trembled violently. "Then who was it that brought me food? I blessed him, and indeed he will be blessed." Esau's world shattered. He cried out with a loud, bitter cry, a sound filled with pain, loss, and betrayal. "Bless me too, my father." But it was too late. The blessing was gone. Tears streamed down his face as he begged again. "Do you have only one blessing, my father? Bless me too." Isaac's voice was heavy with sorrow, but the words he spoke were not the same. They were weaker, harder, filled with struggle instead of promise. Esau wept, and in his pain something dark grew inside him. "The days of mourning for my father are near. Then I will kill my brother Jacob." The house that once held life was now filled with fear. When Rebekah heard this, she knew Jacob had to leave. "Run," she told him. "Go far away until your brother's anger fades." Jacob left his home with nothing but the clothes on his back. No family, no comfort, no peace, only the weight of what he had done. The journey was long and lonely, and one night, as he lay down with a stone for a pillow, the sky opened in a dream. He saw a ladder reaching from earth to heaven, with angels moving up and down, and above it, God stood. "I am the Lord. I am with you. I will watch over you wherever you go. I will not leave you until I have done what I promised." Jacob woke up, shaken and amazed. Even after his deception, God was still with him. Years passed. Jacob changed. Life humbled him. Struggles shaped him. He learned pain, loss, and patience. And then, one day, the time came. He had to go back to the land he left, back to the brother he betrayed. Fear filled his heart. He sent gifts ahead, hoping to soften Esau's anger. He prayed like never before, clinging to God with desperation. What if he still wants to kill me? He wondered. Then the moment came. From a distance, Jacob saw Esau approaching, with 400 men. His heart pounded. This could be the end. Slowly, Jacob walked forward. Then he bowed, once, twice, 7 times, until he reached his brother. And then, something unexpected happened. Esau ran to him, not with anger, not with violence, but with open arms. He embraced Jacob, held him tightly, and began to weep. And Jacob wept too. Years of pain melted in that moment. "I have seen your face," Jacob said through tears, "and it is like seeing the face of God now that you have received me favorably." Forgiveness had done what anger never could. It healed,
It restored. It brought life where there was once only pain. And in that moment, we see something even greater, a glimpse of a future yet to come. Because long after Jacob and Esau, another story would unfold. A story of betrayal, a story of a son who was rejected, sold, and handed over. Jesus Christ, innocent and pure, would be mocked, beaten, and nailed to wood. The sky would darken, and the earth would shake as he carried the weight of the world's sin. And in that moment of deep suffering, as pain filled his body and sorrow filled the air, he spoke words that echoed the heart of forgiveness. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Just like Esau chose to forgive Jacob, Jesus chose to forgive